Now, Joel Embiid, his 34.6 points per game, that leads the league, but he will not play tonight again due to left knee inflammation. He's now missed 6 of Philly's last 8 games, and tonight will make it 10 missed games overall for the season. So, Woj, where do things stand with Embiid, and when can we expect to see him back on the floor?
No, good news for the Sixers. Joel Embiid's expected to start practicing again this weekend, and if that goes well, being able to play early next week. And the swelling has been down. He has responded well to treatment, I'm told. But this is where it's going to get interesting for Joel Embiid the rest of this season. After he misses tonight's game, he's only going to be able to miss 7 more games in this regular season out of the final 45 for Philly to be eligible for MVP, for All-NBA. And this is really the first test of that new NBA rule that has put games played as part of the criteria to win postseason awards. He's a defending MVP.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm told and how Joel Embiid is approaching this, that he's won an MVP. He's been All-NBA. He's not won an NBA championship yet. He's not going to do anything the rest of the season in the managing of that left knee that is going to limit his ability to be healthy or as healthy as possible for the postseason. So he's not going to chase that 65-game number. And that may cost him, again, the chance to repeat his MVP. But Joel Embiid, I think his mindset is about winning a championship, being as healthy as he can be for the postseason. He has seen what's happened when he's not been 100% in the playoffs, how it's cost Philly. Their window is now to win, and I think Joel Embiid's focus is on whether he makes All-NBA or not, or gets to that 65 games, manage that knee, and get to the postseason as healthy as he can be.
Right, and if that means sacrificing a couple of back-to-backs late in the season, if that means a deep and successful playoff run, you would have to imagine that that's something that's worth it. But in the meantime, Joel Embiid out of the lineup, the Sixers, they are 2-7. They average almost 9 fewer points per game. So should this impact, Brian, their philosophy as they look to the trade deadline? Because, like Woj said, they need Joel Embiid healthy, but they also want to be able to manage when he is not there.
Yeah, well, there's no replacing Joel Embiid. So when he's not in the lineup, there's not much they can do. But this team is constructed to add to their team. That was really the James Harden trade hasn't been settled yet. They got assets in that trade and expiring contracts that they can move on. This team is succeeding and playing well without having what really is the fruit of the potential James Harden trade. So between now and the trade deadline, I think they can add multiple players. And they may add nobody, because if they add nobody, they're going to have the most salary cap space they've maybe ever had in team history this summer. But I don't think that's going to be a priority. I think their priority is looking for deals where they can add a player or two. And I think that's something that's going to be one of the big storylines in the league heading into the trade deadline.
Well, they need to reach a settlement soon and act fast. I mean, because... And no, I'm not throwing up game signs. The number 3. That's the max amount of years right now that the Philadelphia 76ers have in their window to win the championship with Joel Embiid for as being the number 1 option. I mean, with his injury history, there's no way he's going to go past that. Like, he's not going to have a long prime like a Kevin Durant or LeBron James or even a Steph Curry. His body is breaking down every single season. And here we are right now. So the Philadelphia 76ers, they got to act on this quick. Now, I'm not saying jumping the gun and just saying go take a Zach LaVine or anything to that nature, but it is a Pascal Siakam out there. And they have to make a move, because when you look at the Knicks, they got better. Right? We don't know if Boston is done yet. You know, Brad Stevens, he's aggressive. And also the Milwaukee Bucks, yes, they had an impressive win last night, but they're looking and saying, you know what? We might need to add to our bench. Philly has to act now if they want to maximize Joel Embiid window.
The one thing you know about Daryl Morey, the Sixers president, is he loves to big game hunt. And he's going to keep poking around on the best available players, even some of the best unavailable players. He'll keep poking between now and the trade deadline. I think more realistic for them, another ball-handling guard, a backup big. You know, it doesn't sound exciting, but as Brian said, getting some pieces around this group, and then this offseason, you know, they're going to be in position to be able to go big game hunting. But like you said, Perk, the window's ever shrinking with a player like Joel Embiid. And Philly knows they have a talent gap with Boston, and maybe even Milwaukee at the very top. But this is a team that I think, as Brian outlined, they have the assets to be aggressive. And Daryl Morey, I don't think anybody's made more trades over the last 7-8 years in the NBA than he has.
Yeah, and when you watch them play, they're a fun team to watch play. Maxey playing fast, Embiid at the top of his game. They have multiple different looks they can give you. If you're a guy who can possibly get traded or a free agent this summer, Philly's a place you want to go. So that's definitely something that could play into it both at the trading deadline and in the summer.
Where do you see, with this roster as currently constructed, the Sixers shaking out, Perk?
To be honest, I mean, I see it as a second-round exit. That's their ceiling. I mean, because let's be real, they can't compete in the 7-game series with the Celtics and the Knicks. The Knicks have gotten better. I gotta keep reminding people how good they really are. And just, Joel Embiid hasn't been great in the postseason. Right now, they got to add another piece.
But what Woj was saying about how he's managing this season, it's going to be very interesting to see if that translates in a different way, now that we've seen him be at the MVP level, to that postseason success as well.
NBA on the ESPN.